It's time for another episode of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a show made by 12s from around the world, for 12s around the world. I'm Mosette, and here is your host and my dad, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes, I am Moses, and welcome to episode 715, the Monday night at the 49ers edition of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show, as our Seahawks get ready to take on the San Francisco 49ers on Monday Night Football. So please put your tray table up and place your seat back in the full upright position. Settle in with a desired sin or beverage of your choice, and what can I tell you? Listen, if that black cat can kick footballs, I say bring him in! All right. Let's meet the posse for this episode. First, the yin to my yang is Matt from merry old England. Hi, Matt.
Good morning, Moses. How are you?
Oh, Matt, I am splendiferous. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, very well. I've also been practicing my kicking because I thought, well, there's a good chance that anyone could be drafted in at a moment's notice, so we all better practice our kicking.
We all better practice. We get practice? Talking about practice? I think you're talking about practice. And we should.
Yeah. And we should. More of it.
More of it. And speaking of more practice, there's our new sound, Will. Hi, Will.
Hi, Moses. How are you?
Wonderful, sir. How about yourself?
Doing well. Sorry I missed last week, but I had an opportunity to catch our local high school team.
Excellent. How did you do?
It was a real nail biter. I left with 10 minutes in the fourth quarter when they went up 62-0.
Time well spent, my friend.
Kind of a nice change of pace, I have to admit.
Yes, I can imagine. It would be nice to have a team not have to go to overtime. That would be fun against the 2-5 team at home. But I guess I digress. And then of course there's Dustin. Hi, Dustin.
Hey, how's it going?
Wonderful. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How's everybody else?
Wonderful. How's Kona, our 12-Man Fan Jam Show mascot?
Nah, she was being noisy a few minutes ago, so she's a little hyped up. She's ready for the game.
She's ready for the game, aren't we all? It's rivalry week. Rivalry, yep. It's that thing. What? All of a sudden, I'm on my phone.
Rivalry week.
It's rivalry week. I get that wascally wabbit. It's rivalry week, everyone. We're playing. It's 49ers week. I'll just say that. It's 49ers week. Right now, unfortunately, behind enemy lines, our friend from behind enemy lines, Statsman Marcus, is in and out of contact. We're a little worried about him, so we're going to kind of...
He's under attack right now.
Yeah, because he is behind enemy lines. So, we don't know what... Right now, maybe we'll get him back, and maybe we don't. Who knows? So that's for him. But while we're doing... This is 49er week, and we want to get the show started and get going. The show is run just like a real NFL football game. We have 4 quarters and halftime. Quarter 1 is news with Will. Quarter 2 is last week's game, the overtime victory over the Buccaneers. At halftime, it is the best Seahawk-themed trivia game on the internet. I refer to, of course, 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia.
Of the world.
Do we have any flags this week from last week?
There's no flags. No flags this week. Right. I checked everything. It seems to be above board.
Oh, brilliant. Smashing. Then we'll move on. Second quarter has to do with that game between the Seahawks and the 49ers. We give you numbers. We give you an injury report. We give you a sermon. We give you a fashion and weather update. And we do all that in the third quarter. And we even have a rival joke of the week. So that should be fun. And then quarter 4, we'll pull out together, make our predictions, our prognostications, and game balls for the game between your Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. But before we start... we'd like to remind you, please, like, share, subscribe to the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel. Join our 12-Man Fan Jam Show Facebook group. It's a lot of fun. Also, we're on Twitter at Seahawk Positivity. Email 12manfanjamshow@gmail.com. Look for this podcast. You can download it on iTunes and Podbean. And let's get to that first quarter and news. Yes, news around the NFL brought to you by our news hound, Shadowhawk Will himself. And this week's sponsor is the Jason Meyer shoes. You can't walk straight with these beauties, and they always seem to drive you to the right. It's the Jason Meyer shoes. The incorrect shoes for correct feet. Will, what you got for us?
Well, Moses, this is going to be a first for my news segment. I am actually, I have an update on the biggest story of the whole week. Mm-hmm. And of course, I am talking about the cat.
Oh, yes. The cat.
The black cat that charged the field in the second quarter of the Monday night game last week and earned a spot in every fan's heart.
Yes.
They haven't found it yet. The Associated Press submitted a report the other day saying that efforts to capture the kitty so far have been unsuccessful. MetLife Stadium issued a statement saying, quote, "We are hopeful that together we can find the black cat that we all fell in love with Monday night." Now, there are reports that there are as many as 300 feral cats living in and around MetLife Stadium,
Nice.
surviving off of the food scraps that are left behind. And I have to admit, watching that cat, he looked a little chunky. So
he did. He looked well fed.
He is well fed, but nevertheless, efforts to capture the kitty are still ongoing. But there's the very real chance it will still be there this Sunday when the Giants play the Jets, although we're unlikely to see him on the field in this game because, let's face it, even that cat has better things to do.
Is that not the truth? Hey, this is a true story. When I worked at summer camp, we had a stray cat one time to kind of wander out from the woods, and we fed it and we took care of it. We were really nice to it, but the name, we called it Kick the cat. And we never did. But ironically, if this cat could kick, we might have a job for it. But the black cat living in MetLife, I guess it could be stranger, right, Matt?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it could have been, a decent player.
Oh my God! Wait, it's who is it? It's Pisarcik, the former quarterback of the Giants, living in MetLife. Gotta have some scraps, please.
Whoa.
Kitty's probably just hanging out with Jimmy Hoffa.
Zorny got that. He's back. Welcome back, Zorny. Are you back?
I am. Yes.
Oh, thank God. We thought you were gone.
I am back. I was just going to say that if there's a cat on the Monday night game, they may not be able to identify which gender.
Oh.
Okay. Yep.
Who can tell anymore?
Woo!
But surely it's got a pussy. No, I'm not going.
Okay.
Oh, snap.
Will, what else do you have for us?
Well, it's perfect timing. Mark is coming in because my next story has to do with betting on the NFL.
Something he does all the time and very well, I might add.
Yes. Well, as inexplicable as it is to seem now, but earlier in the summer, there was actually a lot of people who bet on Bears quarterback Mitch Trubisky to win MVP this year.
Wow.
That's going
which pushed the odds down rather substantially. They have, of course, have rebounded in ridiculous fashion, considering how badly he's played this year. That's good news for most sports books that have taken that took bets on Mitch Trubisky to win the MVP. However, there is one Points Bet Sportsbook, which offers betting in New Jersey and Iowa, of all places, is doing something a little bit different. They're actually offering to pay back the money that people have placed on Mitch Trubisky to win MVP.
What's the catch?
Yeah, really.
They're offering to pay back the money, no strings. They can bet again on Trubisky, which is 50,000 to 1 at this point, plus 50,000, excuse me. But yeah, basically it's a PR move. I mean, it gets free advertising because people are reporting on it. And if you give people their money back, maybe they'll place it on another bet with this sports book. So yeah, Mitch Trubisky is the first player in NFL history that has actually resulted in sportsbooks refunding money bet on him.
That's bad.
Just another little tidbit for Bears fans who have to live life knowing that their team passed on Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes.
And moved up to get Trubisky.
Yes.
Who recently said, if I can add to the story, I don't know if you guys heard this, but in a related note, and this is true, I guess Mitchell Trubisky has said that he doesn't want any negative television in the Bears headquarters or whatever.
Yep, wants all the TVs muted.
Yeah, because they're being so negative about the Bears.
This is not a good sign, people.
No, it's not.
No.
As if that stops everyone from watching in the Chicago bars. I mean.
Well, and like on their phones as they walk in. Zorny, have you ever heard of that happening? A refund?
A refund for the
like
bet?
on MVP or something that they just said, you know what, this is so ridiculous, we're giving your money back.
No, I've never. I mean, no. I mean, I
I've known.
think of anything.
I've known buybacks where they can say you can sort of sacrifice your bet, you get sort of like 10% of it back, and they keep whatever. So I know that you can get some of it back if you want to, but never heard of a complete giveaway.
That's pretty funny. It's that bad. That's bad.
Yeah, I just felt that bad for those people.
Yeah.
If even sports books are taking pity on you for betting on a player, yeah,
that's a bad sign. And they also, it kind of makes a point this week. It's relevant because they traded with the 49ers to move up to get him, and of course gave the 49ers all kinds of great draft picks that they've used to make a really nice team in San Francisco. So thanks for that,
Frickin'
Chicago.
Bears.
Yeah, no kidding. And with that, we will finish the news section. Thank you, Will.
Anytime, Moses.
All right, and that's the end of the first quarter.
It's the end of the first quarter, bitches.
All right, coming up on this very special Monday night 49er edition of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, halftime with trivia, weather, fashion, numbers, and injury reports. But next, we talk about last week's game, that overtime thriller against the Buccaneers. This is the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, wrapping up our tackles. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
That's the fact, Jack!
Holy shit, it's the second quarter.
All right, quarter two of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show, Kickers Optional Edition of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show. And I don't know if we mentioned this in the opening, but I think we did. But in case you missed it, there's a rumor that Seahawks are playing on Monday night. That's right, baby! Monday Night Football, the Seahawks, the 49ers. Lots of hot Monday Night Football action coming your way this Monday. Wait, this is my favorite part right here. Oh, yeah, that's awesome. All right.
Classic.
That's the mystery part right there.
And they talked to, it's that man, Joe Namath, in the New York Jets. I can just hear Cosell playing that man, O.J. Simpson, the Buffalo Bills. All right, sorry. I'm done. Yep. I just repressed like all kinds of childhood memories there. But we have a game to talk about from last week, which is what second quarter is supposed to be about. I don't know. I went off on a tangent. That thrilling or depressing overtime win, depending on how you look at it, over the Buccaneers, 40-34. Dustin, what are your feelings about that game from last week against the Buccaneers?
Well, I really feel like I would like to have some defense show up.
That would be nice.
Yeah, I really don't like having quarterbacks coming in and have their best game of the year against us every single week.
Not cool.
And the kicker, it'd be nice if he made the one. That would have been cool.
That would be cool.
But I'm glad we have Russell Wilson because that dude, he was on fire. He was phenomenal with 5 touchdown passes or whatever. Basically won the game twice. But defense, though, man, they got to figure that out. They really need to stop with the 3 linebacker thing. That experiment is not working. They have to go back to what they do with the 2 linebackers and extra defensive back. That's what they need to do.
Yeah. Matt, it's nice to have an unstoppable offense, but I would like to have a stoppable defense. You agree?
Well, hold on. I don't think we have an unstoppable offense because there are times when we seem to stop ourselves, like the whole second half of a game the other week. I think this game for me, by the way, everyone that's listening, we do have a game thread on Facebook.
Yes.
So do come along and join us on Facebook game thread on the game itself when you can watch us pull our hairs out. But we all love a thrilling overtime win, don't we? Against a 2-5 team at home. I mean, we all love that, don't we? Isn't that how it's supposed to be?
No.
I mean, I gave Blair a rough time in the thread because I struggle with how far off he is from the action of everything. And his first move always seems to be to run backwards by 5 yards, which just opens up that whole centre field even wider than it already is. Yeah. Perfect for their screen or perfect for a read option or whatever. I'm absolutely piss-sick tired of arm tackling.
Oh.
I'm done. I'm over it. I'm done with it now. And, those yards after tackles, we just have to sort of sort that out. We couldn't convert on third downs very easily, apparently, in this one.
Yeah.
We can't seem to stop the screen. We can't seem to get any pressure on them at all.
No.
That defense just needs stripping back and fixing. I mean, the kicker, that would have been a nice touch if he'd have just made the damn thing, but I don't know. It seems to set up a perfect, end to a game, I suppose.
Yeah, you make some good points there about third down, and you make some good points about a lot of things there.
And can I just
tackling,
also, can I just say, Mike Evans is a very difficult man to stop.
Well, he's difficult when he's wide open. It's difficult when he's covered. But then it seemed like there were a lot of balls where no one was in 5 yards of him. And I'm like, can we get somebody in the same time zone as Mike Evans? That would be awesome.
But our secondary, the first thing they do is all move backwards by about 5 yards. It's the first thing they seem to be doing. And it's like, I know what they're trying to do. They want to obviously give space so they can see what's going on. But that just opens up the whole center field for those easy screens.
It really does. Good point. Zorni, what's your take on it?
Well, there was some in-game text last week to you. I'm done with Myers. I'm done with that guy. I've always had a weird feeling since he arrived. It seems like at first Pete didn't trust him really. Then all of a sudden he's the guy, and now it's this mantra of he's my guy no matter what, and that is not what I want to hear when it comes to this kicker. I mean, who do you bring in? I don't know. And so maybe Pete's obviously going to let him write it out. And then again, man, it's just weird to see these games at home where we're getting just ripped to shreds.
Yeah, home seems to not be very sweet this year. Yeah.
Oh,
home's
my
not very sweet for us.
Not
yeah.
For a lack of noise or a lack of a 12 man. It's just that we are. I don't know what's going on there, but man, it's that's really the most bizarre thing. And also, I've been hearing, and I do agree that when players fade, they fade quickly. And KJ Wright, even Wagner, dare I say it a little bit. I mean, it's just these aren't the same players, and I think that's part of it too. But it's not to blame those two guys specifically. It's just
no. KJ had 10 tackles though, so I really can't say.
I think it's schematically is the problem, honestly.
Yeah, and I think Norton, God bless the guy, but I don't know.
I know.
I'm wondering if we could do a little better there with coordinator.
I think so. I think we could.
They're too enamored with Kendricks. I think that's the main problem there.
That's probably a main problem. I can see that.
And there's that.
What about you, Will?
Well, I'm going to be a little more positive and talk about somebody who I am just enjoying more and more the more he sees the field, and that's DK Metcalf.
Oh, yeah.
Who we have seen so many rookie receivers come in, do nothing. If they're in the fourth round, they get cut. Still upset about that. I thought Jennings was going to be good, but oh well. But Metcalf, I am a huge fan of the obvious work he's been putting in. It's showing on the field. He's starting to make the big catches. I mean, we all knew what Tyler Lockett was, and he's just cranked it up to another level, and that's great. But pairing him with Metcalf and the plays that he's starting to make, okay, he had the one fumble in the Ravens game. Okay, that's a fluke. But
he's trying to make a play there. Where you're down by 2 scores, I think.
Trying too hard, and he screwed up, and it's a learning experience. But how many big plays did he make on the last drive in regulation when we desperately needed a third down? The overtime drive when he caught that long pass and lost his binky when the guy grabbed his face mask and wasn't called for it. Thank you, refs. So Metcalf, I'm enjoying. I just really love watching that guy play. And hey, if Josh Gordon can come out and do something, we've got a pretty interesting trio of receivers that teams are going to have
with one of the best long passers in football.
Yep.
Can Josh Gordon kick?
No, he can't.
I don't know.
Maybe if we get up 35-0, it won't matter. The thing about Metcalf, a couple things. First off, you forget how fast he is because he's so daggone big. And when he pulled away from that guy who I heard ran a 4.340 and the guy he pulled away from ran a 4.340 in the combine. And he pulled away from that guy. And he turned that corner. I went, oh my God, you forget because he's so big how fast he is. And then if you saw All Access, every time he scores, he's about as anti-diva as you can get. And at the young wide receiver position, thank God for that. The kid doesn't say a word. He didn't say a word until he got in front
That's the key.
of Carroll. and Carroll said something. He said, thank you, and walked. Like, that's the first thing I hear out of his mouth is at the coach, thank you. And he's high-fiving everybody that's asking for it. And he's doing the little dance that they're asking him to do, or whatever. But he's not a diva at all. He just goes out and plays his game.
And I've got to admit, that's what I was expecting. The whole 1.5% body fat, which I still think is fatal. All the shirtless pics, all of that.
Sure.
I thought we were just getting the biggest full-on me type of guy.
Yeah.
And he has been just the most humble, hardworking one of the most humble, hardworking guys that has come into this program. And
I'm just really, it makes you root for him even more because he's such a great guy on top of everything.
I thought it was really weird seeing them give the ball to a big wide receiver like that in the backfield when they did it.
And it worked because he's so fast.
Yeah, I know. When he got the ball, and I was like,
well, I wouldn't want to tackle that.
And then I forgot how fast he was too until he started moving. I was like, oh.
He got like 8 or 14 yards or something. And I turned, Jake and I both looked at each other. Our eyes got big. And he said, well, they usually run that with Lockett. I said, they can run that with Metcalf a couple more times. He said, yeah, they can. And we did the same thing. You forget how fast he is.
If I'm a linebacker and if I had the choice between tackling Lockett or tackling DK Metcalf, I know who I'd rather face.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, the kid's got all the right tools and all the right attitude.
Can DK throw? I'm all of a sudden picturing a pitch option and him throwing it to Gordon.
I don't know.
I imagine at some point we'll find out.
I'll bet you money they've practiced that. We're going to see it at some point.
I bet they know. I bet they know the answer to that question. I bet they
but
do.
The other important point is can he kick?
What are you saying, Matt?
Can anyone kick?
You guys,
you English guys in your soccer, I tell you.
I tell you, I got to admit, my son finally caught me, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm with you this time, because when he missed it, he looked right at me, because I've been apologizing for Myers all year, and I'm like, okay, you got me, you're right. But you should have made that.
I like the idea of Hauschka huddled next to his wooden stove in Buffalo with Brandy saying "suckers,"
sipping his tea.
I tell you what, that fake Twitter account got us all pretty good earlier this week.
Oh, it did. There was a fake Twitter account. Is it Mark Candota? Is that who it is?
Bob Candota.
Bob Candota, who is a Seahawk, beat reporter pretty much. And somebody made a fake account where they capitalized the con in Condota, and it said that the Seahawks had dropped Ursua and had picked up Blair Walsh. And I freaked out, and I threw it on the fan page, and I threw it at these guys. And then I went back and looked at the replies, and they said, oh, yeah, nice fake account. And I looked up, and I saw the CON capitalized, and I went, oh, my God, it's a fake account.
Yeah. Always check out the account. If
check
you
your sources,
like
folks.
That.
Because I freaked out. I thought, oh, my God. I couldn't wait to tell you guys, oh, look at what happened.
Yeah, I was angry for a minute there.
I thought of Matt immediately. I thought, Matt, Blair Walsh.
Oh, well,
back.
Matt was very angry, and Matt went red. Matt was at work, everyone. You've got to remember the timing of all of this.
Oh, my God.
And Matt needs
Even
his
for
job
Pete,
now
that would
because
make
it
no
didn't go
sense,
well.
And Matt's sitting at his desk, and it's pretty quiet in the room, and all you can hear is, what the fuck?
Okay, we're not going to fall for fake Twitter anymore, but that scared me. But what doesn't scare me is our 2-minute warning as we look at the Posse Prediction Challenge.
Holy shit, it's a 2-minute warning.
All right, the Posse Prediction Challenge this week. Pretty good. Looks pretty good. Let's see. Let's go over it. The scoreboard's 40-34. I'm going to give 2 points to Mike Pascal and 2 points to Satsman Mark because they both said it'd be a 6-point Seahawk win. So you got that. A point to Satsman Mark. He had closest score 30-24. It was 40-34. That's pretty close. Prognostications, a point for Little Mo, a point for Will, and a point for me. Game ball, I'm giving a point to Little Mo, Mike Pascal, Will, and me for Lockett. I'm going to point Statsman Mark for Metcalf. And I'm going to point to Mark Ty Turner for KJ Wright because he had 10 tackles. So I think that's pretty good for KJ. Mm-hmm. The over and under was over. Point to Jose, Statsman Mark, and Moses. Individual scores after week 9. Statsman Mark, you won the week. What? Statsman Mark won the week.
Cue the tiki sound.
Why, that's as rare as trivia.
That's as rare as trivia.
Statsman Mark with 5.
Good job, Mark.
3. You won something, Mark. You're on fire. Mike Pascal with 3. I had 3. Little Mo had 2. Will had 2. Jose 1. Mark Ty Turner 1. After 9 complete games, individual scores look like this. Mike Pascal 22, Statsman Mark 17, second place. Dustin 15, Moses 14.
Oh.
Tom 12, Little Mo 11, Will 11, Matt 10, Mark Ty Turner 8, and Jose 8, which means as we go into the 10th game of the season with only 6 more of these to go, there's 7 more of these to go. Team 12, 61, Team Posse, 68. We're still leading.
By a touchdown.
7 points. We widened the lead. It was 4 points last week, and now it's back up to 7. So
Yeah, my stock went up 40%.
I know. Statsman Mark. We're going to give Statsman Mark a chance to go buy a lottery ticket here. We're going to go to halftime.
Holy shit, it's halftime.
All right, coming up. So much more show. Are we kicker cursed? Are we tackling cursed? Are we Russell Wilson blessed? Yes, all these answers and so much more just around the corner. But first, it's another fun edition of 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia. And that's coming up next.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
Yes, it's halftime, and welcome to another fun-filled edition of the best play-along Seahawk-themed trivia game show on the internet. It's time for 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia. And here's your host, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church of Seahawk Positivity. Yes, thank you, me, and welcome to another fine edition of 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia
Of the world!
The trivia game that tests the knowledge of both our posse and our listeners. Our contestants are the posse themselves, Matt, Statsman Mark, Dustin, and Will. And meow, here are the rules, meow. So here's how the trivia game works. There'll be 2 rounds of questions. Each contestant answers 1 question each round. If they get it correct, they get 1 point. After 2 rounds of questions, there'll be a final trivia question worth 2 points. If there's a tie after that, then the tie players go on to a special secret overtime question where the winner becomes reigning 12-man Fan Jam Show trivia champion and also gets a prize chosen especially for them. As an added bonus to those listening on the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel, the questions and possible answers will be displayed on your screen so you, the viewer and listener, can play along as well. If you do, please let us know how you did on the questions. Remember, there's no Googling, no phone a friend, and please, no wagering. However, there is a lifeline. Before taping this show, my 2 charming Seahawk fan children, Mosette and Little Mo, did take the quiz as well. If the contestants want to know what the kids said, they can ask that but once and only once during the entire game show and only in the first 2 rounds. Now let's get ready to play 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia. All right, time for the rules. You already know what the rules are. And you each get 1 question per round. So we will start with last week's champion, which I believe was Dustin.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I
Dustin,
like
1,
that.
2, 3, or 4. Dustin, 1, 2, 3, or 4.
I'll do 1 this time.
Okay. Matt, 2, 3, 4.
I'll do 2.
Mark, 3, 4.
We'll go Wilson 3.
All right. And that means Will gets number 4. All right, gentlemen, here we go. Question 1 goes to you, Dustin. Hey, Dustin.
Mm-hmm.
The 49ers and the Seahawks have played 41 times. Okay?
Okay.
Out of those times, how many times have the Seahawks held the 49ers to under 10 points in a game out of 41? Held the 49ers to under 10 points. 10, 11, or 12 times.
I'll go with lucky number 12. That
Yeah.
just seems right.
It just feels right, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
If it feels right, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Little Mo said 12. Mosette also said 12. You also said 12. It's 11.
That'd have been
That's
too perfect.
Still pretty good. 11 out of 41 times. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon to
That's a
be
lot.
12.
Hopefully soon to be 12, yes. Hey, Matt.
Hello.
Hello. Matt, this is a non-football question.
Okay.
Who gave their last full concert in San Francisco? Their last full concert in San Francisco. Was it the Beatles, the Queen, or Elvis Presley? Who gave their
I wasn't there.
last full concert in San Francisco? Was it the Beatles, Queen, or Elvis Presley?
Well, I wasn't there.
Okay.
So I reckon it's going to be probably the Beatles.
The Beatles. You're going with the Beatles.
The Beatles.
The Beatles. Well,
Beatles?
Mosette said Queen.
Good.
Elvis Presley got a vote from Little Mo.
Good. Things are looking up.
And,
Yeah, you got it.
Yay!
It's the Beatles. Their last full concert in San Francisco.
It's funny because living by the stadium, I knew that history.
I didn't figure.
So was that at Candleshit Park?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, that was a place.
Yep.
That was.
Yeah.
1966.
Something like that. Yeah. Hey, Mark. Let's go to 2017.
Okay.
2017 victory over the 49ers in San Francisco. Who had the most receiving yards for the Seahawks in that game? Was it Doug Baldwin, Jimmy Graham, or Paul Richardson? Most receiving yards for the Seahawks in that game, 2017. Baldwin, Graham, or Richardson?
Oh boy. Let's see. I'm gonna go Graham.
Go Graham. You go Graham or go home. All right. Let's see. Little Mo said Baldwin. Rosette said Richardson. You said Graham. It was Richardson. Richardson at 70, Graham at 34, and Baldwin at 25. Not a good game for Dougie Fresh.
Wow.
Okay, Will.
Yep. Even my next guess was not going to be Richardson.
Richardson was 70. Will, let's go back to 2015. 2015 victory over the 49ers in San Francisco. Who had the most receptions for the Seahawks in that game? Fred Jackson, Jermaine Kearse, or Tyler Lockett? 2015. Who had the most receptions for the Seahawks? Fred Jackson, Jermaine Kearse, or Tyler Lockett? Interesting combo there. I'll give you a clue. They're 1, 2, and 3. I mean, they're the top three receivers
I
of that
figured,
game.
So.
Yeah. Fred Jackson, Jermaine Kearse, or Tyler Lockett?
Well, I will channel a famous college commentator and go, "Whoa, Nelly, Fred Jackson."
Whoa, Nelly looking at Texans giving me a longhorn the size of Texas. Sorry. Got a little carried away there.
Just a smidge.
Yeah, just a little bit. Sorry. You said forward, Nelly. You said Fred Jackson. So did Mosette. Little Mo said Tyler Lockett. And the answer is Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett with 5, Fred with 4, and Jermaine with 3. So it is.
That was a Thursday night game. Okay, I was trying to remember what on earth game that was. So okay, now I remember.
All right, Matt, get the lead. Matt 5, 6, 7, or 8.
6, please.
Matt with 6. Dustin 5, 7, 8.
7.
And we'll go with Will on 5 or 8. 5. Which leaves number 8 for Mark. All right. Will, here is your question. Your question is also a football question. Aren't you happy? Football question? It's been a while, right?
I'm really not used to this.
I know. It's a while ago. The first time the Seahawks beat the 49ers in San Francisco, it was 1979. Who had the most receptions for the Seahawks in that game? Dan Dornick, Steve Largent, or Steve Rabel? Dornick, Largent, or Rabel? Who had the most receptions in that game? 1979.
I need a real lifeline here. I'd like to ask the cat. Can you track down that cat at MetLife Stadium?
The cat says Steve Largent is what the cat says.
All right. You know what? I'm sticking with the back anyway. Sorry, Kitty. I'm going to go Dr. Dan Dornick.
Going with the doctor. You throw the kitty away. Lil Mo was that also went with the cat, and they also went with Largent. You went with Dr. Dan. Should have gone with Largent. Yeah, it was that obvious. Largent with 4, Rabel and Dornick with 3. So,
well, since you actually gave me the answer, I figured that couldn't possibly be right. So
yeah,
nice,
I know.
A little reverse psychology there.
A little reverse psychology. Haha. Matt.
Hello.
When the Seahawks beat the 49ers in San Francisco back in 2003, How many times did the Seahawks sack quarterback Jeff Garcia? Maybe one of the ugliest players to ever play, Jeff Garcia. And no offense. I'm no looker.
Ugly
I
son of a-
accept my ugliness, but Jeff Garcia, man, that guy needed some face work. How many times did they sack Garcia in 2003? 1, 2, or 3?
Let's ask the kids.
Let's ask the kids. Little Mo said 2, Mosette said 3.
Well, I'm going to be positive, so let's go 3.
It's going to be positive. He usually goes against the kids, but he did not in this case. In this case, he went with 3. Paid off!
Oh,
Matt's got 2
you
points.
always got to be positive with sack scores.
Yeah, positive. You gotta be positive with sacks, don't you?
You gotta.
All right, Dustin.
Yeah.
This might be my favorite question.
Oh,
of this
yay.
group. Yeah. So here's your question. Back in 1867.
Uh-huh.
Sweet.
Back in 1867, the city of San Francisco instituted a law. This law prohibited what? Drunk people from vomiting in the public streets, poor people from living in the public streets, or ugly people from showing their faces in the public streets. 1867, city of San Francisco prohibited what? Drunk people vomiting, poor people living, or ugly people showing their faces in the public streets.
It's all about the streets of San Francisco.
Oh, man.
I'll say ugly
Well,
people
yeah.
because that seems like the most ridiculous one.
All the
There's-
ugly people.
Major violations of all 3 of those going on as we speak.
Yep.
Well, let's see here. Mosette said poor people living in the streets. Lil Mo laughed and said ugly people. You said ugly people showing their faces. Yeah.
That's hilarious. I can't believe that was really true.
It was a rule in 1867. The city of San Francisco instituted a law prohibiting ugly people from showing their faces in the public streets.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did they define ugliness?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, who
knows?
made the call on this one? I gotta know.
I'm sure it was 1867, so the men did, whatever that means.
Well, yes, but ruling out one gender still leaves a lot of people.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I don't know what kind of fine did you have too? Did you have to wear a paper bag or something?
Oh, I could do that.
A scarlet U for ugly.
We've all been there.
That sounds
Anyway.
like an ideal job that sounds like an ideal job for me. I could sit there all day on the street corner and just go, ugly cover up, ugly cover up, ugly cover up.
You know, that makes me wonder if they actually had people doing that now.
I
I
wonder.
could see that happening.
Matt could be a corner. What do you want to call it? A corner.
Ugly
corner.
monitor.
A corner ugly cop.
I'm the
Yeah,
ugly cop.
they had the ugly police.
Ugly cover up.
But use fine. Telephone number?
All right, Mark.
Damn.
The Seahawks beat the 49ers San Francisco back in 2007. How many turnovers did the 49ers have in that game? 1, 2, or 3? Turnovers for the 49ers against Seattle in 2007.
positive,
1,
Mark.
2, or 3?
Think positive.
Oh boy. I'm
Use
gonna
the
ask
force
the
loop.
kids.
Ask the kids. Lil Momos, that said 1. Nobody said 2. Nobody
Really?
said 3. Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, let's see. How old were they in 2000? Oh, the heck with it. I'm going 2.
Heck with it. He's going 2. He's going 2. Nah. It was 3. It was 3.
Go positive.
Oh, and so
wasn't-
both of us got it wrong.
Apparently not positive enough. So here's where we stand. We have Matt at 2, Dustin at 1, Mark and Will at 0, but never fear, gentlemen, because it's time for the final question. Yes, final question worth 2 points. The closest without going over the number of the answer to the final question gets those 2 points. The order will go Mark first, Will second. Mark setting the table again. Dustin at 3, and Matt at 4. The table setter is ready.
I love how
Table
they set
setters.
this. I'm responsible for this random bend. Like the others are counting on my accuracy to adjust their guess.
adjust.
And
Yeah.
yes. Go ahead.
We're
Here we go.
depending on you, Mark.
Here's the question: How many jack-o'-lanterns were lit? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, y'all panicked, didn't you? You puckered a little bit on that one. Here we go. when the Seahawks beat the 49ers in San Francisco back in 2017, how many total yards of offense did the Seahawks have in that game? Total yards of offense in that game for the Seahawks in 2017. Mark.
Total yards of offense?
Yep. 2017.
Okay. Well, let's see. Interesting. That was our non-playoff year. I'm going to say 325.
Mark says 325. Will?
I remember absolutely nothing about that game.
That I've done my job.
Usually that happens to home games for some unknown reason. Okay, so I will go 301.
325, 301, Dustin. Dustin?
He's busy Googling.
I think he is. Dustin is busy Googling.
Nope, sorry, I didn't realize my mic was still muted.
Oh, that's
I
okay.
actually answered.
What'd you say?
I said I'm going to go somewhere in the middle, but I'm not
Okay.
going to math it out, so I'll say 315.
315. Okay. 325, 315, 301. Matt?
326.
326. All right.
I just did the same thing Dustin did. I just gave an answer without pushing my button.
Well, let's see. The total number of total yards the Seahawks had in that game in 2017 was 318. Wow.
Wow.
Somebody's on fire. That Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle called Dustin is on fire.
Nice.
Congratulations, sir.
Yeah, Mark set the table really well on that one.
Wow,
Dustin's
did
on
I
a
ever.
roll.
Yeah.
Is this like 3 in a row or something?
I don't know, something like that. We
Yeah.
can say 3, we can say 8. It's cool.
We could.
Roll
You
with
know. Matt doesn't care because it's
I
not
don't
real. Yeah,
None of
he
this matters.
just throw a flag.
Yeah, it's not the playoffs, it doesn't count.
I'm sure he'll check it out. Dustin, you going to order a trophy?
Man, that was a valiant effort on my part.
It was. You all were very good. Well, wait a second.
Valiant
Table, Mark.
yet futile,
Wait a second, table, Mark.
like ours.
What's weird is like if it's amazing if we're all lost in the forest. I'm actually pointing us kind of in the right direction. It's just,
You kind of are. You are our compass. All right. So, Compass and everybody else. This has been another crowd-pleasing, heart-stopping, award-winning edition of 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia.
Other road.
We'll be right back with the second half of the show. Turtles, take us out.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Holy shit, it's the third quarter.
All right, it is the third quarter of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show. We are going to talk about that game between the Seahawks and the 49ers coming up on Monday Night Football. And we have a lot to talk about this quarter. We do an injury report. We do our fashion and weather report. We do numbers report. We even have a sermon to get you in the Seahawk positivity mood for Monday Night Football. But before we do all that, I thought I would start something with this quarter with something new called the rivalry joke. Yes! When we play a rival, I'm going to try to do a rivalry joke. I know we've already played a couple rivals, but this is a new thing, so get used to it.
Hey everyone, Dennis is doing jokes.
Hey everybody, it's joke time. Gather round. Gather round.
Get your tomatoes ready.
Here we go.
Oh, I'm ready.
Apparently, I am an educator, and I had a friend who's an educator in San Francisco, and he teaches elementary school, and he said the room next to him, Miss Jones, she's a really big 49er fan, of course, and she asked the kids to come in dressed as their favorite football player for Friday because of Monday Night Football. And they all came in wearing 49er stuff except for little Tommy in the back. Tommy came dressed in like Russell Wilson. And so as they were going to recess, Mrs. Jones walked up to Tommy and said, Tommy, I need to have a word with you. And he said, okay. He said, yeah, Tommy, tell me why are you wearing Seahawk stuff? He said, well, that's because I'm a Seahawk fan, Mrs. Jones. And she said, you are? Well, why in the world would you be a Seahawk fan? He said, well, my mommy is a Seahawk fan and my daddy is a Seahawk fan, so I'm a Seahawk fan. And she said, Tommy, that's just ridiculous. What if your parents are idiots? He said, then I'd be a 49er fan.
Oh, that's good.
This has been your rivalry joke of the week. Thank you. Good night.
Well, that was heavy.
All right.
It's a lot of setup for that one, Dennis.
Yeah, I like it though. All right, let's see how healthy these teams are
good.
now. Thank you. Let's see how healthy these teams are by turning to our own doctor, Dr. Dustin, with the 12-man Fan Jam Show injury report. Dr. Dustin, tell us the news.
Doctor, give me the news.
All right. Well, so the official injury report doesn't come out yet.
Right.
Has not come out yet. So what I do have though is who practiced. So
Okay.
and their level of participation in practice.
Yeah.
So for the Seahawks, we have Dwayne Brown and Jadeveon Clowney. Neither practiced today, and I don't believe they practiced yesterday either. Dwayne Brown has that biceps thing going on, and apparently also a knee injury he's dealing with. And then Clowney has a toe and a knee that he's dealing with. But I'm sure that stuff is just veterans getting rest, more or less.
I hope so. So he's dealing with a guy named Tony.
Yep. Yeah.
Clowney's got a Tony problem.
He's got a Tony problem.
All right,
He's going to have to call somebody.
Yeah, sorry.
And then limited participation in practice. We have mostly all vets again, for the most part. Luke Wilson with some ribs. I mean, he really got he got thumped a little bit last week. Missed part of the game because of those ribs. Josh Gordon, he's got an ankle thing going on. If I remember right, he had that in New England. He's still working through that, so he was limited in practice. Mike Iapati is back in his foot. They're bugging him, so he's limited. Tyler Lockett had a hip thing going on, which was news to me.
Yikes.
Yeah. Fluker has a shoulder injury he's dealing with, apparently. He was limited in practice. Phil Haynes has an ankle he's dealing with. Jamarco Jones has an illness, apparently.
My goodness.
And then Joey Hunt, it also says he has a hip injury.
That's scary.
Yeah, but on the radio they were talking about it being a hamstring injury, so I'm not sure if it's both or just one. But either way,
That's something to do with his leg or his
center
butt.
on the roster right now, so that's not good.
No.
And then full participation in practice. People that have had injuries and maybe didn't practice fully earlier in the week. We have Quandre Diggs. He's got that hamstring. He's full practice, so it's looking good for him playing, it sounds like.
Good.
Lano Hill.
That bloody time.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Lano Hill is still dealing with the elbow injury, but he was full practice, so that's good. Quentin Jefferson is getting over his oblique. He practiced fully, so that's great news right there.
That's good.
Yep. And then KJ Wright, he's had that knee thing for a couple years now, so, but he was full participation. And then Bobby Wagner and Chris Carson. They missed practice earlier in the week, but it says it was not injury related.
Probably rest time.
Yeah. Veteran rest.
You're going to see more of those as they get through the season, don't they?
They do. And as they get older, too.
Yeah.
Especially running backs, too, man. They take so much abuse.
Truth.
And then,
Wait,
was that?
I'm sorry. Maybe you're on the eve of mentioning him, but did I not hear Procise's name?
No.
He did not. Oh, and also not to add to it a little bit, I saw today that I think it was, I don't know, Luke Wilson is just a madman, and I heard Luke Wilson say on Twitter, I guess, yeah, they say there might be a broken rib, but I don't care. I'm just taping it up and playing football. Like, he don't even want him to look at it. He's just like, shut up, sit down, I'm playing. It's
that's
right.
awesome.
Well, not much they can do except tape it up. So.
Basically, as it looks like, I don't care. I'm playing. If they want me to go look at it, I'm just going to go play. I don't care.
Hey, put some rib guards on there. He'll be okay.
Is it just me, or does Luke Wilson remind anyone else of MTV's Dan Cortez?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Close.
I just thought I'd throw that.
It's
Rock
very
and
close.
Jock Sport. Yeah.
Sorry, Dustin. Didn't mean to hijack it.
I just thought it was.
No, that's okay. San Francisco 49ers had two players that did not practice, and they play key roles. One is kicker Robbie Gould. They actually signed another kicker, if I'm not mistaken, because they're not sure if he's going to be able to play on Monday. Got a quadricep injury. And then tight end George Kittle.
Yes.
He's dealing with an injury. That'd be a big loss for them. Did you guys see how he got hurt? Did you guys see that play?
No.
No, I didn't.
It was nasty. His foot was planted, and a Cardinals player like ran into his knee with his helmet and shoulder pads.
Oh.
Leaned the wrong way.
Oh.
Owie.
That can be bad.
It looked nasty. That dude's tough, though. Man, it's pretty crazy that he's even looking at playing. Yeah. And then limited participation in practice. And again, I don't know how much this means for their availability to play since the injury report's not actually out.
Sure.
Yeah. We have running back Matt Breida. He's got an ankle thing he's dealing with. Defensive lineman D. Ford has a quadricep injury he's dealing with. Their fullback, Kyle Alphabet.
Yeah.
Scrabble hand.
One of my son's favorite players, by the way. He really likes him. Is it Janice Check or something like that?
It starts with a J.
Yeah.
Kyle J.
Yeah.
Tackle Mike McGlinchey. He's got a
McGlinchey. He's a cop. McGlinchey, I've been running his streets for 35 years.
Then you got another running back of theirs, Raheem Mostert. He's got a knee thing he's dealing with. I think he's their third string running back. We got tackle Joe Staley. It says fibula. I don't know what the issue is with that, but that's a very strange one to be listed as an injury. That's the small bone in your shin. It's not even a weight-bearing bone.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, he broke it a few weeks ago. He's been recovering.
I think maybe just not. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
It still bothered him.
Gotcha. Their tight end, Levine Tololo, has a groin injury.
Tololo.
Right. And then they have a cornerback whose name is
Akilo Witherspoon.
Dang it.
Yes. He has a foot and quadricep injury that he's dealing with. Thank you, Will, for the assist.
Anytime, Dustin.
And then that's it for their limited practice people. They didn't have anybody that sat out practice.
All right. Dustin on phonics, everybody. Get it now while you can.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dustin.
Yeah, I put a lot of effort into that one.
Well, and we appreciate it. We really do. And you know who else puts a lot of effort? The weather and fashion report. Because when we need to know what weather and fashion is going to be for the game, we turn to a guy living in England. Because it's time for the 12-Man Fan Jam Show weather and fashion report. And that's with Matt from merry old England. Oh, Matt!
It's raining man.
Yes, thank you, Moses. So, it's the one we've all been waiting for. Now, I don't know why you bother asking me about the weather in sunny California when we have our own man behind enemy lines. So I decided to ask Mark instead, and he was adamant that it was going to be minus 30 with heavy snow and blizzards, with hurricane force winds coming from the north. Now, this may come as a surprise to some of our listeners, but no sooner had Mark told me that than I heard the now iconic buzzer sound, just like this. So of course expect the exact opposite of Mark's answer. So we're saying it's going to be low 70s throughout the early evening with no rain and light winds. Thanks, Mark.
Oh, anytime.
Now, what to wear for this game? Well, one of my favourite things about California is the music that came from the legendary California Sound. So
Yes.
bands like The Byrds, Sonny and Cher, The Fifth Dimension, and of course the Beach Boys. So my suggestion is to steal any tie-dye look you can, just sort of throw it all together, and go full retro 60s. Whatever you wear, just throw a Hawks jersey over that and you're good to go. As for me, if I was heading to the game, well, there really is only one look that I could wear, and that's right, it's going to be full Mama Cass Elliot, with a huge psychedelic multicoloured caftan concealing enough drugs to knock out a small horse, and a ham sandwich to choke on.
Gotta have a ham sandwich.
Gotta have a ham sandwich to choke on in honour of our kicker and his own choke on.
Yes!
Also this week, the team are on the road, so that could only mean Pud from the Hood is back. Where I, as Pudding Hawk, bake something lovely from the city or state where the team are visiting. Now, obviously we're in California, which is famous for many fruits, including grapes, mainly wine, avocados, and lemons. So I'm going to take the lemon on this one, I think, and I'm going to do a lovely zesty lemon cake. So watch out for the video on the Facebook thread at some point over this weekend. But all that being said, Moses, it looks like perfect Seahawks weather. So Moses, back over to you.
Oh, excellent. Excellent as always, sir. Thank you so very much. You know, when you said the San Francisco sound, I expect you to say guys like Journey, Jefferson Airplane, and Night Ranger, but you came out with, the 60s and 70s, which is fine.
It's the
too,
California sound, not the San Francisco sound.
Oh, the California, the San Francisco sound, but California sound I expected, but that's all right. I'll keep my Night Ranger to myself. But anyway, enough of that. Now the guy that always has our number, a man with numbers and tokens all around him. It's time for Statsman Mark and the 12-Man Fan Jam Show by the numbers for our game and maybe a couple of teasers, Mark.
Ricky don't lose that number. Ricky don't lose that number. Ricky don't lose that number.
Oh my goodness, you keep hitting higher and higher notes.
Hey Mark, can I give you
poor
three questions
Connor's
real quick?
writhing in agony.
Hey Mark, who's the best team in football right now?
Who is the best team in
Who's the best team in football right now? Any? When I answer this, it's the Dolphins. Let me tell you how. Here's how it works. Dolphins beat the Jets. Jets beat the Cowboys. Cowboys beat the Eagles. Eagles beat the Packers. Packers beat the Chiefs. Chiefs beat the Ravens. Ravens beat the Patriots. Therefore, the Dolphins are the best team in the NFL. There you go.
Wow.
Take that.
Seems legit.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Mark. Go ahead. As you were.
That's okay. Well,
yeah.
Yes. Well, and again, since my overall percentage isn't worth mentioning, I won't mention it. So I'll just go with every week is the current week's picks. The one thing that is encouraging, I did look up, is that we are 3-1 against the spread. Well, actually, we're undefeated on the road, right?
Good. Yeah.
I think.
Yes.
But we're 3-1 against the spread, so I guess we were favored on the road and didn't cover it. But still, we're winning on the road. That's the good news. And I will lead off with that game. They are giving the 49ers, or they're saying the 49ers are a 6.5 point favorite. When is the last time that happened?
Ouch.
Anyway, I'm taking us, despite our kicker.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the 6.5. A guy that, it's funny, I was reading about him today because he was answering questions about, yet again, throwing from the 1 yard line. So I'm going with Darrell Bevel and his Detroit Lions plus 2.5. And this time they're taking the Bevel show.
Nice.
They're going into Chicago. So ode to Darrell there. And now in the division game, you have the Saints favored by 13.5 points. Does anyone want to guess who they're playing within their division?
Atlanta.
You guessed it. It's Dan Quinn. It's our old friend Dan Quinn. And I'm going to take
You keep it in the
Atlanta.
family this week, man.
I am. You know what? It's like if I can get 13.5, you got to try it. It is in New Orleans, so we'll see. Next, this week does have some brutal matchups, and this is just the New York Super Bowl. The Giants listed as a road team, but they both are playing in MetLife, so the Giants are 3-point favorites.
Yeah, it's like a combined 3-14, isn't it, or something like that? The records.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
The Giants are 3-point favorites against those lowly mononucleosis Jets. I'm going to take the Giants minus the 3. And finally, we're sticking with New York. And I'm not buying the Browns, and nobody else is either. And, the Bills, we got to give the Bills some love. So I'm going to take Buffalo plus 3 going into Baker Breaker Cleveland. And I think they're going to win that game straight up. That's your money line pick right there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but if you really want to win, if you fade all 5 of these picks, you'll come out ahead. So,
hey, did you get the over-under for our game? Did you get the over-under for our game, my friend?
Oh, I'm sorry. Gosh, I always forget that. Go figure. It is 47.5. 47.5.
Right, that's what we'll use. Excellent. Oh, Mark, those are fantastic. Of course, we do want to say that these numbers have been presented for entertainment purposes only. Yeah, the 12-Man Fantasy Show does not endorse betting on anything at any time. Please don't take this or anything we ever say on the show, especially Mark's numbers, seriously, ever.
Right.
Thanks,
well,
Mark.
in the same way we call Kendricks the insider, they call me the fader. So you want the opposite. Fade me.
Darth Vader. Well done.
And now, please be upstanding and welcome our own Reverend Moses from the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity for his sermon for this upcoming game. Oh, Reverend.
Yes, this is the Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church Seahawk Positivity. How are you, gentlemen, this evening?
Oh, good, thanks, Reverend.
I hope you got your heart medications all renewed for the month, because it's going to be another long month rooting for the Seahawks, it feels like, doesn't it?
Certainly does.
It certainly does. But we do press on, and that's what we will do, a reading from the book of the 2019 NFL season, chapter 10, verses 3 to 12. For after a long fought but victorious battle, they did then travel southward. Down to the coast they rode until they approached the land of Golden Gates. There within land of trolleys did they find those of the number 7 squared. They were gold diggers, and they wanted to vanquish those within Seahawk Positivity, but it would not happen. Those within the power of Seahawk Positivity did ye rise up and plant the gold diggers into the ground of the land of Rice-A-Roni. And it was not the treat for those in the red and gold, oh no, but for those within Seahawk Positivity there was much rejoicing. Go forth, my brethren, go forth and spread the good word of Seahawk Positivity. Praise Largent, praise Cortez, praise Walter Jones, praise Kenny Easley, and as always, go Hawks. This is the end of the third quarter. You are listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show. We will be back with our predictions, our prognostications, and our game balls for that Monday night game between those evil 49ers and your Seattle Seahawks. We'll be right back. Take us out, band.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
If there's a better use for the internet, I haven't found it.
Holy shit, it's the fourth quarter.
Okay, it's time for the fourth and final quarter of this episode of your 49er edition of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Manly, yes, but I like it too. In this quarter, we make our game score predictions or prognostications.
Wow.
And of course, our game balls for that upcoming game between your Seahawks and the 49ers. And by the way, if you didn't know, that game is on Monday night. That's right, baby. Monday Night Football.
Yes.
Oh my!
Oh, Howard goes, I can hear him now. The little man from Pacific Northwest is that man, Russell Wilson, going against his old friend and colleague, enemy now, that man, Richard Sherman. All right. But I digress. Here we go. These are predictions, prognostications, and game balls for that game. We're going to start with Team 12. Jose, 34-27. Seattle gets an interception. Game ball to Lockett. Tom, I am extremely nervous about this game. I think it'll be close, but I don't think we can pull it out in the Bay Area. Tom is concerned about pulling it out in the Bay Area.
It's not a problem.
Yeah,
it's not a problem in the Bay Area. Trust and believe.
I'm just saying, we'll move on. Score 33-28 Niners. He's got the Niners winning.
Boo.
DK Metcalf, I know. DK Metcalf will go over 100 yards. Game ball, if we keep it close, Metcalf. All right. Little Mo says 31-17 Seattle. Lockett touchdown is his prognostication, and his game ball is Lockett. Mark, Ty, Turner says, I'm trying to be a realist. The Hawks do have the best Monday Night Football record winning percentage, but game is in San Francisco, where we've had trouble last year to a bad San Francisco team. Russell's 5-3 in the Bay Area, but the Hawks are not the strongest 7-2 I have seen. In fact, we could easily be 2-7 or 3-6. He has the Niners winning 24-20. Game ball to Josh Gordon, who has a very good Seahawk debut. And his prognostication is Sermon yells in the sideline cam at least 3 times. All right. Mike Pascal, this will be a nail biter. A nail and pillow biter. He said it, not me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hello.
Wow. Yeah. He said it, not me, folks.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah. Hawks will be down early in the pillow biter, but I predict multiple lead changes. Tempted to do my Rams logic and say we'll lose, so we'll win. But faith and arrogance and Niner disgust win out. Hawks win 29-27 over the Winers. Prognostication, Hollister with a touchdown. Game ball to DK Metcalf. Bonus prediction, Myers will make more kicks, then he will miss, which is just kind of a fun thing, like he said.
Is that counting warm-ups?
Well, it's just a little fun thing there, he said. So what you were saying is you can pull it out in San Francisco.
But only if you're coming from behind first.
God.
Right.
You can, but you have to charge half.
But there is a charge, okay. Okay, now for Team Posse, Will. Hi.
Hello.
What you got for us this game?
Well, looking at the facts at hand, it would be easy to just say, you know what, the 49ers are probably going to win. But you know what, picking scores is not my forte anyway, so screw it. Seahawks 31, Niners 27. My game ball is going to go to Bobby Wagner because if we have any hope of holding these guys back, he's got to play lights out. And my prognostication, yep, I'm going to go there. Kickers need love too. Jason Myers will be perfect Monday night. He will miss 0 kicks. There will be a minimum of 3 kicks that he will kick and make.
Oh, I'm glad you put that in there. I thought you were going to say he was going to be injured before the first quarter.
Nope.
Yeah.
But yeah, extra points and field goals combined. He will attempt at least 3 kicks. He will make all the kicks he attempts.
Okay.
Ooh,
No misses
that's
out of
bold.
at
That's
least
bold.
3.
I'm going in.
I'm going in.
Not
Jim.
pulling out.
We all felt it.
Will's going in. Will is going in. All right. Matt, hi.
I'm going to need a moment.
Okay, let me give you a moment.
Right, I'm ready.
Okay, moment.
There's your moment.
Thanks.
This is the moment you need, buddy. Take this moment. Run with it.
I'm taking it.
All right. There's your moment.
Okay, here we go. Seahawks 23. 49ers 17.
Nice. I've heard that score before. Go ahead.
Game ball, I'll give it to Wagner. Prognostication, a player will get ejected. I don't say who from which side, but there will be a player being ejected from this game.
Okay.
Interesting.
Wow.
Wow, a little bad
See
blood.
that?
A little bad blood. Statsman Mark, what you got?
Well, first off, I think what we've learned is that you have to be careful where you walk in San Francisco because you might step in it.
So true.
Yep.
And then you got to be careful who you interact with, especially before considering sticking it in. So those are 2 deep thoughts.
Wow, those are deep.
Not as deep as that funny
Deep
feeling we were
hurting.
talking
I
about
just thought
having
it'd be
earlier.
on the
Hurting.
perversion, given the city we're talking about. No, anyway, I am going to say for this game, we're going to have to score. We're going to have to think of something. No, we're going to
Think of
score.
something.
And this is going to be a thing where we're down a point. We get a late Wilson touchdown, and we're going to win 30-24.
Okay.
We are going to intercept Garoppolo twice.
Okay.
And let's see, for a game ball, we'll go Clowney because I've been picking on him a little bit.
Gary
So
Clowney.
we'll go Clowney.
All right. Hi, Dustin.
Hey, what's going on?
You need some motivation?
No, I'm good. I mean, yeah.
I'm giving some anyway, man.
Yeah.
It's Monday Night Football. Get ready. Oh, here comes this one. Here we go. Right here. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Your heart beats a little faster. You get a little bit more excited about watching guys beat the crap out of each other. All right. Dustin, what do you got?
All right, so I think it's going to be a close game because that's how we do things.
Yeah.
And I think the Seahawks are going to win the game 27-24.
Okay.
And my prognostication is that those last 3 points come at the end of the game, and Myers is actually going to win the game for us. He's going to make a comeback. Yep. Game-winning field goal at the end of
Nice.
it.
Nice.
2
Go
votes of confidence for
27-24.
the kicker.
And because of that, he will get my game ball.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, so I guess Will and I are double teaming the kicker
Done.
today.
Yeah. You're believing.
Yeah.
Can nobody tweet him this because he'll just get all panicky and it'll be the end of it.
You know why? You
Don't
know
miss
why
his
you,
tweet.
you know why y'all believing? Because it's Monday Night Football. That's why you believe. Right there. All right. I guess it's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Got it. All right. Seahawks never make anything easy, do they? I mean, they barely escaped from the Buccaneers with an overtime thriller And now they go to the land of rice-a-roni and bathhouses to take on the undefeated San Francisco 49ers. 49ers are experiencing a revival of good football that hasn't been around since they last won a Super Bowl, which, if you're keeping track of that, was 1995. That's right. 1995.
Now available on VHS.
Yeah. Toy Story 1 was in theaters. Ross and Rachel on Friends were not on a break yet. And TLC, they were telling us not to taste waterfalls, baby.
Wow.
That's right. Oh, there you go. Little waterfall chase in 1995 for you. That's the last time the 49ers won a Super Bowl. If a kid was born in 1995, they'd be really old right now. They'd be 24? 24 almost.
Super old.
Yeah.
Super
crazy.
They'd be really
All right.
old right now.
I digress, but I just want to keep this funk going, if I may. The 49ers are led this year by Coach Kyle. I don't have Daddy's crazy eye Shanahan, who kind of looks like the last kid you'd pick in a dodgeball because he's more interested in which Star Wars female character he'd like to show the Force to. But we move on. The 49er team is good.
Whoa.
Listen, they're good. 8-0 so far. 8-0. And they are a top 3 offense and a top 3 defense. That is no lie. But they've also done it by beating only 2 teams that weren't complete garbage. So that is where the Seahawks come in. How good is this 49er team? Sure, that's what we're going to ask. But you know what? Maybe the real question here is how good is this Seahawk team? Because if you ask me, they're good enough to steal a game from a division leader in November at their house. Watch my game ball, Chris Carson, run for 100 yards. But 100 yards is not my prognostication. Oh, no. No, it's not. Watch another good old-fashioned knockdown, drag-out game between these smash-mouth teams that comes down to a game-winning field goal by Jason Myers. That's right. That's my prognostication.
Wow.
I said it.
Wow.
I believe, Mark. I believe y'all.
Jeez.
I do believe. And
Somebody has to.
And I believe that the Seahawks are going to win by a score of Seattle 31, San Francisco 28. Book it! That's right. Take that, y'all.
I think you've all punched drunk. I think you've all got Monday Night Football fever.
I think we do. TLC.
The only prescription is more cowbell.
More
We're
cowbell,
moving too
please.
fast, but we moved too fast, and now it's done. So TLC, thank you. And unfortunately, we moved too fast. It's time to bring another wonderful and amazing 12-man Fan Jam show to a sad close. We are so glad you decided to waste some of your weekend without Seahawk football with us. We certainly hope you laughed a little. Maybe you learned something. We learned a lot in this show. We learned where cats live. We learned who gets refunds on MVP bets. We learned that we really want to find someone. If anyone can kick, contact us. We fell for fake Twitter. Dustin on Phonics is now out and available. Contact us for a price. You got to be positive with sack scores. That's what we've learned. And we learned Matt can be a great corner ugly cop.
Yeah.
We learned that you can pull it out in San Francisco, but there's a charge. And we learned that you have to be careful where you walk in San Francisco. So, on behalf of my partner in crime, Matt, our news hound, Shadowhawk Will, Statsman Mark, Dustin as the Beaver, Mike Pascal, Roger Goodell, Mark, Ty, Turner, Jose, Tom, Mozette, Little Mo, Jim Plunkett, Keena Turner, Jim Drunkenmiller, Moses, say until next time, go Hawks!
Go
Hawks!
Go Hawks.
And listen, don't go chasing waterfalls. Just don't do it.
Play us out.
TLC, everybody.
Jason Left Eye Myers.